Hello friends, it is April 28th as we look at Val's Drive-In, 8:53 p.m. The road's a little wet. I don't know if I'm going to get rained on or not. I guess we'll find out. I didn't check my app. I just wanted to go for a walk. I didn't go all day because it was raining. So we'll see what happens. Let's see what my radar says. Looks like I'll be good. Most of the rain looks like it's southwestern Maine and into Massachusetts and Connecticut down that way. I'm in central Maine, mid-coast, so I'm closer to the coast, the ocean that is. So now I have this on, the setting I have for this is I have Hyper Smooth on, but I have it on Super View. So we're going to see how it looks. Because I didn't like how it was going back and forth while I was walking without it on. So we'll see. No, we'll just see. We'll see how watchable it is. It is cool tonight, but it's not cold. Probably should have brought my gloves. But it didn't really feel like I needed them. It's 48 degrees. It's not windy. In fact, tomorrow is going to be almost 70. So once I get a sweat going here, I'll be just fine and dandy. So I'm just doing a my walking vlog, an almost daily walking vlog. It's kind of a funny name, but it's what it is. I had my walk yesterday. I haven't uploaded. I have the one I did to Mount David and the Bates campus. That was pretty cool. But we're walking again as soon as this car turns. Can hear the frogs tonight because it's wet. So I don't anticipate on getting rained on. May get a little misting or drizzle or something, but it's going to be nice tomorrow. So I was just reading a couple of news articles. I don't know how familiar people are with the band The Runaways, but it's a band I like, and I have their records from the late 70s. And then the band split up, people went their separate ways. One of the band members was Lita Ford. You probably remember Lita. I believe she was married to Tony Iommi of Black Sabbath for a while. She had a pretty decent solo career as well, Lita Ford. I got her albums. But the one I wanted to talk about was Cherie Currie. Or Cherie Currie. Where she was the singer for the Runaways, who at the time when she was in the Runaways, I believe she was 16 years old, and a lot of people didn't know that. So she was running around on stage with a corset and stockings and panties, and kind of wild. She did a movie with Randy Quaid. What the hell's her name? Jodie Foster. There were some other people in it. I wish I could remember the name of the movie. I know it too. I do that all the time. It's one of those things now where, you know, it's right on the Foxes. That's what it was called, Foxes. Late 70s. So it's so she played a troubled teenager in that, which basically she was. But she's really cool. Anyway, she has come out. How did she come out? Well, Ms. Cherie Currie, who actually made a decent living doing chainsaw carvings. She's a chainsaw chick. She's 65 years old and she still looks hot. She had a picture where she was lying down and she wasn't wearing anything except gloves to use a chainsaw. And she was lying down with a chainsaw in front of her, covering some of her body. Pretty cool picture. And she still looks good. Thin, healthy. So anyway, so in this article, she came out as denouncing this transgender ideology stuff. She's denounced the Democrats on all of their policies after being a Democrat for a long time in California, like a lot of other people that are Democrats in California. It wasn't easy for her to do. She's getting a lot of grief for it, but she knows it's the right thing to do. And she absolutely knows what we know, that Biden is a horrible president. Their policies are leftist, not American, and she's very ticked off. So we're seeing a lot of celebrities speaking out against Biden, and some of them even saying they're going to vote for Trump. Now, she hasn't said she's going to vote for Trump, but she said she's not voting for a Democrat, so 2 + 2, you know. But anyway, a lot of this stuff in court for Trump there is really starting to blow up in the Democrats' faces. Some information came out this week that they did in fact coordinate with the White House's DOJ to organize these prosecutions against Trump. And polling is showing that Trump now has a 6% lead on Biden in CNN's poll. For the first time ever, he's pulled that high. So it's going down, man. People are figuring out that this is a political persecution of him. And realistically, if there had been, okay, just one court case, all right? You know, the Stormy Daniels thing, DA Bragg in New York, blah, 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 okay? People would say, okay, well, you know, I'll see how that turns out. But now it looks like they orchestrated the information that came out was actually the people that wanted the documents for the presidential archives said that they requested the documents and they weren't hearing back to their liking enough. Somebody from the White House contacted them, one of his aides, and they ended up getting the DOJ involved. So that was literally Joe Biden sicking the DOJ on Trump. And the presidential records people made it clear in this correspondence that it wasn't anything that was a big deal. So the White House made it a big deal to get charges brought against Trump. And everybody's just hoping that the jurors are just going to want to get Trump, whether he's innocent or not. They'll just say he's guilty. And that's what they're hoping for. But here's the problem. If they do that, if they go after Trump like that, and everybody knows he's innocent and they said he's guilty, he wins. He'll win the election easily. And that's just a fact, because polling is already showing that. So, you know, they played with fire and they're gonna get burned. There's no way out of that for them. If Trump wins his cases, he wins. If he loses his cases, he wins. And if they would have just had one case against them that stuck, and then maybe voters would have said, well, you know, maybe he was guilty, maybe I don't want to vote for him. But they threw everything at him. It's obviously tilted and biased, and people are not stupid. At least most of the people. There's still a sufficient number of stupid in this country. So I just thought that was interesting. Because that's what's happening. It's going to blow up in their face. The dude does not abide. So anyway, so I don't know what they're going to do. But it's looking like this DA Bragg case in New York is already falling apart. Already falling apart. They went ahead with the trial, getting an indictment without having all the testimony from everybody that's going to be in it, and the testimony is not helping them. It's making them look terrible. Because they are. Wouldn't even surprise me. It's so bad, I'm not even exaggerating. It's so bad that it would not surprise me if the Stormy Daniels bribery thing was thrown out, even by the judge that hates him. There's just nothing there. So, as you can see, it's not an easy thing walking at night. It is not an easy thing. So So I got 1 mile in at 18 minutes. That's a good start. My hamstrings are a little tender tonight. So, like I said, I do have this on the super view setting with the shutter speed at 30 frames per second. So, now this person's going too fast. They're not expecting anybody to be walking, but they saw me, so that's good. They saw me. It's all good when they see me. I got room to get away on the side. So kind of had a an unusual thing I usually don't eat. But I was in the mood for it. I made some kind of like a homemade concoction of a burrito. I used a hot dog in it. So I had a hot dog in the burrito with some rice, vegetables. I had some onions. I actually put in some diced up potatoes that were cooked in there also. Some tomatoes. I had a couple of those. They were actually very good. Not bad. I usually don't eat wheat, you know, because of my celiac and gluten and stuff. But really it's only a problem. Motion detector. And the voice said I was being recorded. Good thing I smiled. So anyway, it's not the kind of thing that bothers me unless I make a habit of eating it. I also got some more trail mix. I got some Tex-Mex, Texas and Mexican trail mix. I smell somebody's clothes dryer. Love that smell. Cool. A dog barking at me. So anyways, kind of a nice night tonight, even though it's damp. It's like 46 degrees, 48, but it's not like 48 degrees felt last month. There's more moisture in the air. It's not bone dry. I wasn't sure if I was going to walk tonight. I'm glad I did. I'll take an easy route. Easy 5 miles instead of 6 or 7. So I was watching another video on YouTube of these young people and these small bands having backyard gigs. I mean, that is so awesome. Let's play right out in the backyard. Nobody called the police on them either. How cool is that? So anyway, I'm wearing my Bruins ball cap. To shield my eyes from glare from headlights, so I can see where I'm walking. Because when you get headlights in your face, you can't see what you're walking on. You could actually walk into a 6-foot deep hole. You wouldn't even know it till you were at the bottom with a broken back. Anyway, they need to repaint their smiley faces. The pile of brush. The brush is slowly getting cleaned up. I burned up all of our brush yesterday. I raked it all up, burned it in a barrel, and I uploaded a video, about 20 minutes, just babbling about things while I'm burning stuff. Ooh, hamstrings are burning. I'm burning, I'm burning, I'm burning for you. Blue Oyster Cult. I really like that band. See my breath tonight. It's not cold breath though. Not like when it's cold out. There's definitely some moisture in the air tonight, some humidity. Moderate as it be. You have to understand, in Maine, most of winter, the air is as dry as you see in southwest Arizona, Nevada, out in the deserts. There's just no moisture in the air because the freezing cold freezes it. It can't exist. So that's why a lot of people in Maine have problems with dry skin, dandruff, things like that. Oh, we got a lawn light. We got a lawn light. A solar-powered lawn light. Ooh, my hamstrings are cooking. That's good. So I took my omega-3 fish oils, which has vitamin D in it also. I took an iron pill. I got my B12 the other day from Liquid B12. All the stuff I need to take care of with celiac disease. Which reminds me, I was watching this channel with this young people playing in these backyard bands. That's what I was going on. And this guy has a video on his channel. I don't think the guy's more than 21, 20. And his girlfriend died. And I feel really terrible too, because I was kind of intrigued by it, so I did an internet search for her obituary. And I found a GoFundMe page that the mother and father had put up to help pay for the funeral last year. And first of all, she was 20 years old. And born in 2003, and she died in 2023. Terrible. So, you know, he wouldn't say what she died from, but I just wanted to follow up and see if it was a vaccine or something else, or accidental or whatever. And I found out that she had some kind of neurological problem that had to do with excessive vomiting, where it's very rare. And when some people get that, they vomit so much they have to go to the emergency room and get hydrated because they can't keep anything down. And it's called cycle vomiting is what it's called, and also abdominal migraine. Well, I had never heard of that. And there's different physical triggers, one being stress, another one certain types of foods. And it's basically a constricture of blood vessels, like you get when people suffer from migraines. So she would get the migraine headaches also. And it didn't really elaborate what her cause of death was, because what she had wasn't lethal, wasn't fatal. So it's got to be suicide. It has to be. She either couldn't deal with living with it anymore, and but anyway, the GoFundMe page that the parents had put there said that she had physical trauma from being ill all the time, and also said her emotional issues, which it doesn't say if it was because it was associated with that, or, but basically, if you're 20 years old and you didn't die from drugs, you either died from the vaccine, a car accident, or suicide, or some sort of accident. And it didn't elaborate. And the fact that they went out of their way to mention her emotional struggles tells me that she was, you know, one of these mental health problems we have in the United States today, which is unfortunate. I have no idea where the coping mechanisms went for young people. Where did it go? And it's deeply concerning because, you know, we knew people back in the day that something happened, some kind of trauma, and, you know, they'd be confused about things and they'd kill themselves, but it's on a scale today that is mind-boggling. So anyway, I had to go find out what I could, and, you know, because I felt bad, you know, I really did. You know, this guy really loved her a lot. And there's video of them together on his YouTube, and I'm watching them, and it's like, she deeply cared about this guy. So it's like, why didn't she talk to him about it, you know? Because that was another reference he made in a couple of videos where it's like 5.5 months after she's gone. You know, he's in his car crying about it. And I just felt bad. Not being whiny about it. It's just, you know, he's trying to get through his work day, he said, and just couldn't. That was 5.5 months after she was gone. So, you know, she cared about him. So I just don't know why she didn't talk with him, or something could be so bad that you can't even talk to a loved one about. So, people obviously cared about her. She wasn't alone. I just don't understand it. Anyways, we're on the walk. There's like no breeze at all. It's dead calm. And I hear frogs. I hear froggies everywhere. So it's not gonna rain. Doesn't feel like it's gonna rain. It just doesn't. I don't know what that is. Usually before it's gonna rain or something, you'll feel a little breeze pick up and the air will smell different. No, it just feels like we're more likely gonna get fog. Wouldn't surprise me if there was a fog warning for tonight, some parts of Maine, in the foothills and the low-lying areas towards the coast. Which reminds me, I plotted out a couple places to go hiking. I did. One is in Harpswell, which is right next to Brunswick, and I'm only about 20 miles from the ocean, so that's it. It's only about a 20-minute drive. And there's a bay, an ocean bay, and a salt marsh, because it's in front of the ocean. One of the places I'm not sure, because I read reviews on it in Google, and this woman and this guy say that and they weren't exaggerating, and they said they took what they said was hundreds of ticks off themselves. They said you could see ticks in the parking lot. So that's not good. So tick season in Maine is basically between May and the end of June. So I will have to go walk on that, and you know, and they were young people, so I think I know what they did, because I already know how ticks are, how they hang out. They sense body heat, for one thing, and they hang around underneath the leaves, and when you walk by, they let go of the leaf and land on you. So they had 2 dogs, and they were both young people, and it sounds to me like they went foraging through the forest, through the leaves and the brush. And most people know that you shouldn't do that during tick season, because you will get ticks. Even when I'm careful going by a whole field of clearly marked with a sign marking for ticks, I'll still once in a while have to pluck one off me. And last year I got one in July, right around July 4th weekend. We went to the range. I had plucked a couple ticks off me because we were setting up our targets and taking them down. That's when I picked them up. And the damn son of a bitch buried himself into my shoulder blade behind my right shoulder, and I didn't know he was there until 2.5 days later when my shoulder started feeling sore. So the worst thing is for a tick to be on you for longer than 24 hours. And even worse when it's 48 hours, if they're disease carrying. So there's different diseases you can get. Lyme disease, the most common one, but I would have showed symptoms of that by now. And I would have had an initial target rash, it's called, where the area where you get bit ends up looking like a target. You get a red center, and then you have a red ring a few inches out around it. So I didn't have any of that. I did remove the whole tick, as far as I know. I think I left part of the head in there, or leg or something, because it took a while to heal up. And I'm still scratching at it once in a while, but it's getting much better. And we're coming up on May, almost a year later, so. But I'm good, I'm good. There's nothing nefarious going on there. It was just there for a long time, and it made a pretty good crater where it gorged itself. It was fat. It was blood-sucking. And what they do is they will hang on you feeding, and they come up with a whole bunch of eggs. They don't lay the eggs in you, but what happens is the fully engorged tick will fall off by itself, and that blood that it has in it feeds the baby ticks. So I interrupted it before it was done. I know that's kind of disgusting, because it is, but they're freaking ticks. They're freaking bloodsuckers, parasites. So, it's a Sunday night. It's one of the best nights of the week to walk at night. The least amount of traffic. Especially when it's late, which it isn't right now. It's probably coming up on 10 o'clock. Cars going by. So I hope this super view camera angle looks super. Super view. Super view, view. Super view. Super view, view. That, my friends, is a loud exhaust. Oh goodness. My apologies again. Goodness. All right. A sign here again, protect Lake Auburn. They got a nice gazebo out back. They got their little imitation torches. Oh, looks okay. Kind of a nice night for a walk tonight. It's one of the first nights, a little bit under 50 degrees. It doesn't actually feel chilly. Kind of pleasant. Pleasant in a funny kind of way. Yeah, so the big thing about Sherry Curry coming out and speaking out about this transgender thing and ruining children is that she supports the LGBT community and always has. So that's the interesting thing about that, and that's why it's important. A lot of these people are not happy with what's going on, and they're afraid to say anything. Because if you say anything, you get blacklisted. So it's kind of like what they were doing with McCarthyism. If you spoke out against Senator John McCarthy's committee, saying what they're doing was wrong, oh, why are you defending it? Are you a communist? What do you have to hide? So that is basically what the left does. So, and I think a lot of people had about a belly full of it, and they're just going to speak up. Damn the torpedoes. We had Alice Cooper speak up last year. He's openly Christian, so they tried to denigrate him. He lost a clothing deal. But I don't think he cared. He didn't care. So he probably knew that was going to happen as soon as he said it, but he's just like, well, I have to say something because I'm a Christian and what they're doing is wrong. And he did. So that's it. Gotta do what you gotta do. So we got a little bit of ammo that's going to be delivered, which is cool for future range days. Some 9mm steel case blamos. Good prices on stuff, depending where you go. It's 10 50-round boxes. MagTech, which has always been good and reliable. Much better quality than Armscore, and some of the Armscore stuff is pretty decent too, but not great. PMC bronze is awesome, and PMC bronze is made by CCI, and I believe MagTech is made by CCI also. Could be wrong on that, but I think that may be the case. So I'm going to go down this way for better visuals at night. I am feeling a little fatigued, and I know yesterday I was feeling fatigued. Said, you know, I've been walking an awful lot lately. I should probably take Sunday off. Well, I was sitting around at home. I was like, went out on the porch and smelled the fresh air. I was like, it doesn't feel chilly tonight. It feels different. So I'll just take an easy 5 miles. Plus, I've been wanting to test with the Hyper Smooth on with the Super View, see if it's tolerable. I'll know that when I play this back, and if you see it, that means I thought it was tolerable enough to upload it. So if not, then I'm talking to myself for nothing. Nobody's ever going to see it. So I was hoping in Brunswick, you know, everybody's like, oh, they got nice trails, it's nice. Yeah, well, what I saw was, one is 1,000 feet, which is nothing. And, but it goes down, you can look out on the bay. I'm probably gonna butcher the name, but Manguito Bay or something like that. Which is the ocean, you know. The other place goes down to that same bay further down the road, and you can walk. It says that you are more than welcome there. It's a hiking area, and it says it's about 4,000 feet. That's a little more like it. Then I could walk that on the ocean, along on the beach. Scouted it out on Google Maps, and it didn't look too bad. So you figure 4,000 feet one way, 4,000 feet another. I should get my walking in there. I want to wait until there's leaves and trees, and I might even wait till the end of tick season, which is the end of June. But Appetite Park in Auburn, I will go there before then. And the thing is, the coast of Maine is usually warmer, cooler in the summertime. So, not by much, but noticeable. It's obviously good breeding ground for ticks, because half the comments I read, people were complaining about ticks in Brunswick. I had no idea. So, you know, when I go walking around here and I end up with a tick on me or something, usually I'll find it, and usually I'm dressed for ticks, which means wearing a long sleeve, and also means a long sleeve with cuffs, and also which is not comfortable when it's 90 degrees, folks. Okay, it's hot, but it's better than picking ticks off you. So I just hit 3 miles. We got a sign here that says be nice. Good advice. 3 miles in 53 minutes. So, yes, the ticks. Typically what I would do is I go for my walks and pick a couple ticks off me if they're on me. Most of the time I don't have any on me, because I don't go walking through the brush. I don't go looking for berries to pick. So, but sometimes you'll get one on you anyway. So a lot of times you'll find them on your leg. So when I go walking where I know there's ticks, I'll do the aforementioned, wear a long sleeve shirt with a cuff. Can be loose fitting, so it's not constricting when it's hot, but it is going to be warm. So And I'll also wear these knee-high weightlifting socks, is what they're called. And I bought some white ones, and white ones are good because if you get a tick on you, you can see it. And they're knee-high weightlifting socks. Mine have the US, says USA on the toes, and that's got red, white, and blue stripes. It has an American star on the side, and they're really good to wear when walking. So I can see if there's any ticks on me. I have 3 or 4 black pair of those too. I wear those all winter when we go shooting. So, because they're thick, keep my feet warmer, because it gets cold. And so I'm usually pretty well protected from ticks. I just had one that managed to find its way to my shoulder blade. Probably crawled up my pants, went underneath my shirt. And you can't feel them damn things. They tread lightly. So, the most common places that they like to go is the crack of your butt, your genital area. And their favorite spot seems to be usually the shoulder blade, because they can stay behind there and not be noticed, and like they did with me. Damn son of a bitch. So usually when I come back from walking, I take a nice hot shower right away. And if you have ticks on you and you lather yourself up with soap, that's usually good enough to do the trick. And even if they've buried their head on you, a lot of times they don't like getting soaked up. So you could do different things. You could spray rubbing alcohol on them. I heard that works. Put a lit cigarette on them. Go back right out. They don't like that. But I don't smoke, so. I'd rather use rubbing alcohol. But what I did was, it was on my shoulder blade where I could reach it, so with some help, I used needle nose pliers and got him. I got it. I got the bastard. So there's the Bates College campus to the right of me, which you saw some of it on the other side of that field. It's a fun walk. I wasn't directly behind this field, but it's the general part of the campus. You would go to where this field is, where it's a running track. Then you would end up over here where the ice hockey rink is, and that other building there. I was directly on the other side where they were playing baseball. So I really don't mind walking the same route, and the reason why I like it is I'm familiar with it. I know the do's and don'ts. I know where the dogs are, so to speak. And sometimes I'll get adventurous at night and walk in different parts of town, which you saw one of those videos, like when I checked out St. Peter and Paul Church. That was a fun walk. I enjoyed that. So I do like to wear black when I'm walking. It's just my favorite color to wear anyway. And I've noticed that my hoodies are starting to look gray or reddish color on the shoulders because it's getting sun faded. which is funny. I also noticed in the shower a couple days ago, I looked and it's like, wow, why are my hands dark? You know, so something wrong? No, it's just I'm getting a tan, believe it or not, from walking, even though it hasn't been hot or anything. But when I'm walking, my arms are swinging and my hands are getting tanned. Thought it was hilarious. So I'm getting tanned hands. And the rest of me is bone white. Now what the hell is this contraption? It's a bicycle with a 2-cycle freaking motor on it. People are so lazy today, they can't even pedal their own bikes. There's electric scooters I've seen these kind of like unicycle ball kind of thing, shaped like a basketball, somebody standing on it. Kind of weird looking. It's scooting along pretty good. So I also wanted to make some commentary about, you know, stuff I talk about. You know, I don't mean anything personal with anyone. You know, if I talk about like some unhealthy food and people are overweight and they're obese, and you know, if you're listening and you have medical issues, or you're obese, or you got heart problems or whatever else, I'm not belittling anybody. I'm not picking on anybody. But I do like to tell the truth to other people that might be watching. Take care of yourself, because it'll catch up to you. And you know, that being said, like I was talking about with Paul Harrell, which I haven't heard anything new about him lately, which isn't good. But like on the channel for Paul Harrell, I know they record things ahead of time and do editing, and it isn't like we go to the range on Saturday and I try to have something uploaded Monday. A lot of times people will go to the range and you don't see it till a month or two later. So, and of course I'm referring to his brother, who is doing the channel now. So I don't know when those videos he made are recorded. And he doesn't talk about Paul on there, which is probably good. And so certainly no disrespect there, but you know, I wouldn't want people hovering over me. So anyway, I don't want to offend anybody or make anybody upset. I'm not ridiculing anybody, and I'm not being arrogant. And the reason why I brought up Paul Harrell is I could get diagnosed with something really bad tomorrow. You just, you know, you don't know. So I just walk around and be myself. That's all I can do. Hopefully people don't mind. Nothing personal. Could have done without that. That made me jump. Oh, it gave me an adrenaline rush. Didn't know what the hell that was coming up behind me. I'm talking to you guys, and all of a sudden that big loud piercing siren, which I guarantee you was louder for me than it was for you. My body stiffened up while I was walking. I had to turn around and see what that was. That was a natural reaction too. It's not like you hear a loud noise and then you just run off the sidewalk for safety. That was not the reaction I had with that. It's like my brain knew it was a siren, so that's going to be okay. Unless it's some kind of assassination squad that runs a siren before they come shoot you. It's not really something to worry about. It just made me jump. Like when people drive by and they yell things at you. Especially that one time that guy had that really loud voice. I even put my hand on my freaking pistol in my belt. Because you don't know what the hell's going on. It's like, don't do that. Don't be dumb. Golly gee. I mean, I wouldn't pull my gun and start shooting somebody. I mean, but you got to be ready. Especially when you don't know what the hell's going on, what's making that noise. Then this, I believe I filmed that one night. That is a rooftop that was done by Scott Lebedo, great American artist in New York City, very anti-Biden. He hates the son of a bitch. And he did the Flags Across America thing that they did. And so he did a roof or a building in 50 different states. It looks like that. I had recorded this before and I didn't upload the video because I didn't like how it came out. But this is one of the ones he did. He did a firehouse in other states. He's painted one in Hawaii, Alaska. He's done it in all 50 states. So the guy's name is Scott Lebedo. Really good artist. And he does a lot of things, like because of the censorship that the Biden administration was doing on social media. He went out in New York City and threw red paint all over the road. Videotaped it. Well, he didn't videotape it, he video recorded it. And he was arrested for it. And he was like, oh, okay, I get it. When these leftists come out here and take a crap on the sidewalk or spray paint everything, you guys don't do anything. I come out here and protest for free speech, and you shut me up by arresting me. So, it's pretty cool. Cool video on that. And he's definitely a proponent of not taking things lying down. I got something to say about these sons of bitches, you got to say it. To them, preferably. Mudslide whoopie pies. So what do you think's going to happen when Trump has these trials and quote unquote he gets away with it? Because right now a lot of the Democrats are getting angry. They're getting angry at the Supreme Court because they're issuing kind of a partial immunity to Trump. If it was official acts he was doing, then he's immune from it. And Trump said that this election, looking into election interference, that was his job as president of the United States, to protect our elections. They're going to have a hard time proving that that's not what he was doing. So Mark Meadows has already come out and said that I did what I did because I was told to do so. I was doing my job. I was following orders, which means Trump gave a directive as president. So, and it's one of those things, like with Bragg in New York. And the reason why this isn't working for them is they had to hurry up. They need to find him guilty before the election, no matter what. Because they feel people won't vote for him if he's guilty of felonies. So they're rushing it through, and they didn't get all the testimony. And now the testimony is exonerating Trump. Their big witness, Pecker, that owned the National Enquirer, who actually dealt with Michael Cohen to pay off Stormy Daniels and set up a fake company. That was Trump's attorney's job. That's what they do. These people seem to think that, you know, Trump was doing everything himself, making all the phone. I mean, come on, he's a billionaire. He's busy, freaking busy. People do stuff for busy people. So this Pecker guy, this Pecker testifying in court, testified under oath that Trump didn't know anything about it. It wasn't his idea. It's just something Michael Cohen did as his job as attorney to take care of things for Trump. So if somebody broke the law, it was Cohen. He's already been found guilty of lying under oath and breaking the law, so should stand to reason. He also falsified a loan for his taxi cab endeavor that he was involved in. He was found guilty of that and sent to jail for it. People seem to be forgot all about it, I guess. So he's not a credible witness. So it's starting to look like even if they have the most tainted jury that absolutely hates Trump, they're not going to be able to, you know, they're not going to be able to convict him. From what's been revealed so far, it's blatantly obvious. I just hit 4 miles. 1 hour, 11 minutes, 4 miles. It's not bad. Not the best. It's not bad. I'm sweating pretty good. And I just have a hoodie with a long sleeve and a t-shirt over the long sleeve. So I probably could have walked tonight with just a long sleeve and a t-shirt over it. We're right in that in-between. The in-between. So, with that, things are looking good, my friends. Now the documents case on the Mar-a-Lago raid, which wouldn't have happened, it only happened because the White House pushed it with the DOJ, because Biden wanted to lock up his opponent. They felt like it was a good idea. And I don't even think it was Biden that made that decision. It's his freaking administration, his staff, the ones really running things. Whoever that may be, whether it's Obama, Susan Rice, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Biden's a puppet. That's all there is to it. He's a figurehead. Just somebody to stumble on the microphone, embarrassing the country, getting lost on stage. So that's what we got with that. The doggies barking at me. Woof woof. Woof woof. Home of the famous Lewiston sirloin, Bork's Park and Shop. Sirloin. Have to say that like Homer Simpson. Sirloin. Mouth watering just thinking about it. So what's the temperature on the sign right now? 50 degrees. It says it's 50 degrees. (9:54 p.m.) So my time was off. I thought it was closer around, I thought it was 10 o'clock about 20 minutes ago. I'm lost. So anyways, hope you're having a good time. I love walking. I love how I feel after. That's what I used to like about playing ice hockey too. Because I come back after, it felt like I got some good honest exercise for the heart. And you know, I was going to the drugstore at the time. They had one at a drugstore, and they also had one at Walmart where you could just sit there and for free you'd check your blood pressure. You put your arm in this thing and the bag would puff up, and you'd put your finger on a sensor and you'd let it check your blood pressure. And when I wasn't playing ice hockey and I was heavier, the more weight I have on, I start having blood pressure go up. Then when I played a lot of ice hockey, the blood pressure was perfect. You know, the 110, 120 over 70, which is what I'm guessing it is now. I haven't had it checked in a long time, but with all this walking and hard exercise, and I don't smoke, and I don't eat junk food, I don't have all the salt, and so I salt to taste, and it's not overly salty. So I'm going to assume things are okay. Till I get to a doctor and get checked out for the checkup. So this will be a good test of the lights. Standing still should look pretty good. Then when you walk, head bobbing up and down, I'm doing it a little exaggerated right now on purpose as a test for the lights to see how they jump around and blur. Hopefully that's pretty good. I had the boost, maximum boost on, and I didn't like how that looked. But then I did kind of like a test video with it where it is now, and just walking around out front of the house with the street lights and stuff, it looked okay, but can't really tell until you get into a real environment like this. So this part right here will be a good test. Wish I would have had this worked out the other night when I saw those 3 deer. That was a good video, and I didn't upload it because it just wasn't watchable. But I saw 3 deer, it was awesome. And the reason why I mentioned Scott Lebedo with the Flags Across America is I think I mentioned it in the video I ended up not using. I know it was that night, so if I already mentioned it and you watch these videos, well, my apologies. I don't remember what video I did it in. I walk almost every day, so I can't really say, oh, I think it was Tuesday last week, or there's like too many of them. I'd have to check my playlist, see the one that's not there, or the one that is there. Now, all last summer there used to be a cat out here. He used to be hanging around out here, rummaging around. It's like his hangout. I haven't seen him yet. I think he'll be back. He was kind of friendly. He'd scoot down in the grass across the street there, waiting for me to go by, and I'd say, "Hey, kitty, how you doing?" He'd blink his eyes a couple times, wag his tail. Knew I was friendly, I guess. Well, sometimes I think dogs are not as smart as you think they are. And I say that because how many times you gotta walk by the same dog and they bark at you all the time before they realize, that's the same one that walks by all the time. Why am I barking at him? He has never done anything. Somebody turning here. I'll walk over here. Somebody else coming. I'm gonna cross the street this way. Somebody turning into Thorn Craig. Not supposed to do that. Not supposed to do that after dark. They got cameras in there now, buddy. We'll see if he drives through and turns around. It's a popular spot. Gays come. They come over here because they got chased away from Auburn, where the boat launch is. The Auburn mayor. I read an article about that a few years ago. Republican mayor. So this guy is not supposed to be over there. Could be bringing a prostitute there. Could be anything. Not supposed to do it. It's clearly marked. And there are surveillance cameras in that parking area. I've seen them. You can see them. They're not dummy ones either. Oh, they're pulling out. See, dragging a muffler. What the hell is that? Oh, they're gonna drive by me. Don't give me no crap. All right, I am in the mood for some trail mix. So up ahead, at some point, I'll hit 5 miles. I think I'll make it on this battery. If not, I'll just say, see you later now. So if it just stops abruptly, I'm feeling raindrops. Yeah, spitting raindrops. Raindrops are falling on my head. Whew. I am warm. We're gonna start having some warm walks. I dug out my cargo shorts, my black pair I have, that I used to be too fat to wear. And now they fit just fine. I can actually wear those and tuck my pistol in the belt. I got plenty of room, so that makes me happy. I wore those last year. They'll fit even better this year, and I like them because they got pockets. Now on past walks you've heard me talk about that maybe. I absolutely do not like when I see people wear tan colored cargo pants. And why is that? Because everybody wears those freaking things. Everybody. It's like, why not wear some camo ones? Wear some gray and black camo. Some green and olive drab camo. Some camo. Some brown camo. Hell, even freaking light blue camo. I mean, something freaking interesting. Black, gray, olive drab. Why does everybody wear those freaking tan ones? It makes me cringe every time I see it. Because they all look the same. We go to Fenway Park years ago in the early 2000s. Everybody's wearing them damn things. Polo shirt, tan cargo pants. It's like, I made a point not to get any tan ones, so I wear some black ones, and they're pretty cool looking. I like them. So I'd like to get another pair of camo ones, but the plain black ones are nice. Wouldn't mind some charcoal. Even some off-white ones, because they don't look tan. Off-white would be beige, and probably look too much like tan. Anyway, dare to be different. Yeah, it's raining. I'm getting wet. It's not pouring or anything, just spitting raindrops. I can feel it on my hands while I'm walking. Well, all right, I'm gonna walk up this way. You know what's funny is when you say something and people don't listen to what you said, and they think you said something else. It always makes me laugh, because I'm usually pretty careful about what I say. If I say something, you know, like I saw a car that was somewhere it shouldn't be, it looked like a Prius, and then I'll actually see what the car was, and the person will think they're being smart, and I go, see, it's not a Prius. I knew it wasn't a Prius. Well, I didn't say it was a Prius. I said it looked like a Prius. If you were testifying in court and you said it looked like a Prius, then if the suspect that got arrested and was on trial was driving one and you said it looked like one without saying it was one, that's two different things. And people don't listen. They don't listen when you say something. I'll probably go check that out Tuesday. Then somebody goes and, oh, where were you? You said you were going. No, I said I'll probably go. I might, maybe, you know? I didn't say I was. So, people don't listen. We'll walk down this way. We'll end at the Pizza Hut. Should be coming up on 5 miles anyways. I'm gonna check my magic chalkboard. I'm at 4.92, 8/10 of a mile, less than 800ths. So, Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Yeah, so I broke down and got some tortillas. I got some hot dogs. I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood for freaking hot dogs. I hardly ever have hot dogs because they're not good for you, but they're not good for you if you eat them all the time. That's the thing. So, I like hot dogs. Who doesn't like hot dogs? So, I ended up getting tortillas with them. That's kind of like a wrap instead of having hot dog buns, because the white processed buns now is terrible bread. It's awful. It's not like when we were kids and it was fresh bread. But anyways, I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you very much for walking with me. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk to you soon. Stay tuned for the next walk, folks. Thanks a lot for walking with me. Stay safe, be good to each other. Bye-bye, everybody. Till next walk. Bye-bye.